Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Friday. It is May 22nd, and it is a long weekend that we have upon us. Memorial Day is Monday. That snuck up on me. I don't know if it did for you, but I had planned to be live a little bit earlier today, and my dad was here with my boyfriend Tyler at 5:30, and they were doing some work outside, and they called me out. And just like that, my neighbor walked over and he had some beers. So we had to have a social beer Friday. So before he went to cut his grass, my neighbor. And my my excavator found a rock in the, where would it be? The she shed, underneath the she shed. So it used to be grass there. And so my excavator found a rock, and I don't know what it is with my family and rocks, but we love rocks, like big stones. I think it's, I don't know, having something to do with growing up on a farm and picking rocks and finding pretty rocks and putting them in your landscaping. So I have a few big pretty rocks. I mean, honestly, the reason I bought my house is because of the rock that is outside. I was biking and not in the market for buying a house whatsoever. And I saw this beautiful rock and the house was for sale. And that is how I ended up in my house, I think, because I liked a rock 10 years ago. So needless to say, my excavator found a rock, and I told my dad, and I told my excavator, let's just pretend, hi Sherry Berry, you got your catalog, yay, and your card, awesome. So I told my excavator, let's just pretend it's not there. Let's just bury it and it'll be okay. And while Tyler came home, and Tyler saw this rock, and Tyler told my dad, there's a rock under there, and okay, now we have to take a hose and hook it up, and we have to spray off the rock. And I'm just trying to find you guys. Let me just find this real quick so I can stop looking down on you. So hi Stacy, hi Rhonda. So Tyler hooks up the hose and we spray the big rock, and I'm like, it's a big rock. It's not little. Like, it's not little. It's probably 3 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet, okay? So Tyler proceeds to spray off the rock last Thursday night in the dark, of course. And then he takes a picture of it and sends it to my mom, so my mom can show my dad what this rock looks like. And I'm like, okay, well, it is pretty. It's tan and light, and it's got nice character to it. So needless to say, I have a rock in my landscaping now that it used to be like 4 feet under the surface. Hi, Rhonda again. So I don't know what it is about rocks. And now that Sherry Berry's watching, Sherry Berry knows what this rock obsession is all about, because we were in North Carolina visiting Sherry the last time that my mom and I and my dad went down there. And we brought rocks home from North Carolina. So there is something about rocks. Hi, Melissa. And so the story with the rock in my front yard is that the people were down in actually North Carolina and saw this rock and had it hauled home on a flatbed trailer. So there's something with rocks, and a bunch of the rocks that are in my landscaping. Sorry, this like turned into a rock conversation, but a bunch of the rocks came from my parents' farm from picking stones, and then a lot of the paths that I have are flagstone or ledge rock from where I grew up. So my boyfriend Tyler and my dad were over at 5:30 moving the rock to the spot where hopefully it will not have to be moved again for a long, long time. And that's why I wasn't live at 5 like I thought I was going to be, girls. I honestly thought I'm going to be, boom, 5 o'clock, let's get this done, and then move on with the weekend and have a great, great time. And it just didn't happen. And then there was a beer involved, and now I drink water. So I wanted to make sure I was good for the card making session with you. So yeah. All right, girls, do you have anything planned for the weekend? I know that we are not like, there are no restrictions whatsoever. So people are camping, people are going to parks, people are having a great weekend, I think, hopefully with being able to be with people and just being outside. I know it's supposed to rain a little bit, but I hope that you girls and guys can get outside and enjoy some of the weather and get some stuff done that you need to get done. So, hi, Kelly. So you just missed the whole rock story, Kelly. You're going to have to watch this from the beginning. Anyway, so yes, I just shared my whole rock life history story. So, all right. So, it is Memorial Day weekend, and I will be going back to work on Tuesday, girls. So there won't be a Facebook Live Tuesday or Wednesday, but I will be back on Thursday for a paper pumpkin party with you. We're going to put together the May kit and make an alternative card. Yes, there will be pressure and stress because I got to watch some videos online and see what I can see see ahead of time to have some scraps of paper ready for us to make a card together. That is an alternative idea. Hi, Sarah. So the game night went great. Oh my gosh. Thank you to my cousin Kelly, who's on here right now. She did a fabulous job helping me. It ended up being about 2 hours and 55 minutes, so it took a little bit longer than we thought. Well, not really. I mean, on a game night like that, when I do a normal bingo, it's usually about 2.5 hours, and then by the time we all wrap up and finish up, it's 9 o'clock before we're all done. So it was in line with what I was thinking. So it was fun though. If you girls didn't get a chance to see the live video, you can definitely check it out. I just shared it with the Cards by Christine page about, I don't know, a half hour or an hour ago. And I also shared it to the VIP page. And you girls can fast forward the game part if that doesn't appeal to you, but you can definitely watch the card making session. We made 5 beautiful tulip and umbrella cards, and it was awesome. So much fun. So lots of prizes that were won, and I'm so excited that all the prize packages went to different people. Hi, Nicole. So, hi, Pat. Other thing too, girls. Okay, I've been talking about this mystery card making event for a little while now, and I'll be honest with you, I've had it in the back of my head, and it was originally going to be for tomorrow. But with our Safer at Home ban being lifted, I just thought, wow, I don't want to do this on a Saturday because people are going to be out and about. I'm not going to get as much interaction, and I just thought, well, I'm going to wait a little bit. And plus, I had to get through game night. I'll tell you, that took a lot of my time and energy, all these weeknights. So I just looked at my calendar, though, tonight, and I've set it aside for May 29th. So next week, Friday, we're going to meet at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be a Zoom, girls, because it's going to be an engaging activity. So I know that not everybody is a fan of the Zoom technology and all that good stuff, but I want to be engaging with you girls and talking and laughing and have an interaction back and forth. So the mystery card making event is free. And what's going to happen is I'm going to publish the event tonight or tomorrow morning. And in the event is going to be a set of instructions. And that set of instructions is going to have the measurements for the paper that you need to have. So basically, you're going to be responsible for cutting, scoring, and prepping pieces of paper. And that's your first clue, is what I give you in the instructions for your measurements. And then what's going to happen for game night is I'm going to get my magnifying glass out, and I'm going to read off the clues for you on how to stamp and assemble, and then stamp and assemble and put your card together. So isn't that going to be fun? I don't expect it'll take us more than a half hour to an hour, but it's just going to be a fun time for us to get together and meet new people and socialize and engage. And I know not everybody's going out and about quite yet, and I've got some long distance people that it'll be fun. So in the invite also will be the Zoom meeting link. It is an open invite in that link, meaning that there's no meeting required or like meeting code or password. Depending on your technology, you might have to enter the meeting number in, but that's going to be in the details, so you know what it's all about. So, and basically all you should have to do is click, 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 and it should get you into the meeting. So it's going to be fun. So that's a week from tonight is our mystery card making event. And I will be giving away door prizes, girls. So I'm going to go through my stash of stuff, kind of like what I did last night. And I cleaned out a little things, and I bought a few things for last night that were special. But I'm going to go through what I have that is retiring or has been retired and see what I can find to give away some prizes for people that participate live at the event, and also for people who post pictures of their cards that they make. How exciting. Hi, Carrie. So mark your calendars for next Friday for the mystery card make event. Yay. Okay. Kelly, if you're still watching, what am I forgetting? She's becoming like a third arm to me. So, all right, so that's that. And, oh, cards. Girls, I worked on some swap cards too this like later after work. And then last night after I got done doing all the labels for all the game night, I made a couple designs for cards. And I want to share them with you. So yay to stamping, sharing love. So, all right, so for tonight, I told you I had one card left that wasn't assembled from a class that I did last July. And it is from the Sailing Home suite of products. And it's the last Sailing Home card that I did for that class that we put together the first two. So I had a bunch of extra kits for that class. So what I'd like to do tonight is to definitely go through how I make the one card. And yay, that should be fun. So I guess what I'll do is I'll flipper my camera down, girls, and show you the card. I hate that glare. Oh my goodness, glare everywhere. So we're gonna set that right there. I'll put the glare. So this is the card we're gonna be making tonight, girls and boys. I gotta say that because sometimes I catch some guys on here, my brother and some coworkers sometimes. So this is the Lighthouse card. So Sailing Home is a stamp set. It looks like this. It is in the annual catalog and it is carrying over to the new annual catalog. So the stamp set and all the dies will be carrying over. Now with that though, not a lot of the accessories that go with it from the suite are carrying over. And if you are wondering, there's my glare back. So we're gonna, you know what girls? We're gonna do this. We're gonna pop a little block down there because when it's angled, it's not so bad. So look at me and my book here with my tab, Sail Away, right here. So if you go to your annual catalog, you're on pages 144 and 145. So the DSP, the twine, the trinkets, the embossing folder, all that stuff is going away. The embossing folder is actually on the last chance items for, I think, $7. So the embossing folder is on a discount right now. The paper is so pretty. If you need some Manly Man cards, this is a set that you're gonna want and get some of these embellishments to go with it. So if you recall, okay, so girls, this is my 45th, I gotta look at you when I say this. This is my 45th Facebook Live since March 23rd. I have done a Facebook Live every weekday for, what is the math, 9 weeks? We've been safer at home for 9 weeks. So girls, it's crazy. So if you are looking for something to do, you can always go back through the videos section of my Cards by Christine page and check out videos. I've done so many different cards. I've done swap card showcases, a year in review, paper pumpkin classes, all my classes that I've had for the last month, I've done them live. So this number tonight is a 45. I can't believe it. So hi, Chris. Chris just got this High Seas embossing folder. So last week, I can't even remember, girls. The weeks have started to blur together, but about 2 weeks ago, we put this card together with the blueberry bushel foil paper, the different foil and vellum in here, and then we also did this really pretty Z-fold card, and that is, I don't know if that was 4 weeks ago already, but it's crazy how fast the time goes. So these are the other two cards. So if you're curious on how to make, you are so good at it. Thanks, Chris. I love you. I always appreciate nice words. Thank you. So these two cards right here, if you're looking for instructions or a little video on how to put these cards together, definitely go back through the archives in my video section and you can see how I put those together. But this is the card that we're going to work on tonight. Isn't it crazy? I went from blues to the mossy meadow. So I had to change up the color for this card. And this one folds a different, it folds the hot dog style. And this actually has some stamping on it. So this is called the hot dog. And when it's the other way, it's a hamburger. So we're gonna make this card tonight. And it features mossy meadow with very vanilla. And if you've been watching me, you probably noticed that I do not do a lot with vanilla as much as I should. But I do love the vanilla cardstock a lot. I do, however, use mossy meadow a lot. So we have here, and I cut this actually different. I actually cut this the hamburger style. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and that's quite all right. It's just gonna open this way versus the other way. So make sure you line up your corners, grab your bone folder, and burnish your edges. of your card base. Now I've got a piece of designer series paper here, and that is from the Sailing Home set. And that measures, where is it on here? 4 by 3. I made that 4 by 3 so that you could get 12 pieces out of one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. The other thing that we're using here is the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. So this is carrying over as well. I already ran this through the embossing folder, so by the magic of TV, I can open this up and grab this out. So there's 2 pieces of vanilla in here that are the same size. They are 5 1/4 by 4. And so one's for the inside and one is, let's see here, there. If I get the light, look at that. So there's one way that it is. And then when you flip it over, it looks like the planks are more puffed up. So depending how you like the look is how you're gonna put yours down. I like mine looking so that the puffs are up. And oh my goodness, girls, I forgot something, but we can improvise. So I just got, some mail today, and in here I've got linen thread. So I forgot to, when I went upstairs 5 times to get everything for this card, I definitely forgot to pull down the braided linen trim, which is here. So we're gonna have to improvise, and we'll use linen thread to put this card together, and it will look perfectly fine. So what we can do on here is already adhere our piece of designer series paper to our vanilla. So we have here the sailboats on the back side. So I generally find with Stampin' Up's designer series paper that if I don't like one side, I do like the other side. So you're always good that way. So it's very rare that I find that I don't like both sides. So in this case, like I love this green stripey. And the way I cut the paper, I definitely cut it so the lines were going this way, and then I cut it, or I emboss it so my Pinewood planks were going this way. And once I'm done gluing this on here, hi Dar, I'm going to trim the top edge of the designer series paper off because I have it just a hair longer than what it needs to be. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep this with some, oh my goodness, tear and tape, oh girls, I was working on the other side of the room and my tear and tape is over there. So hi Stormy. So I'm gonna find myself a fresh new roll of tear and tape. Boom, look at that. I have my adhesive basket right next to me. So just remember girls, I always have my adhesive basket in case you're ever running low of liquid glue, if you're ever running low on dimensionals or glue dots, tear and tape, you name it. I have an adhesive basket and I sell it for the value in the catalog because it's cash and carry. I don't charge shipping or tax on it. So liquid glue, $4, no shipping or tax. So it's a little extra perk of buying your adhesives through me instead of going to a big box store. So I just had, where did I put my linen thread, girls? Oh, I'm going crazy. So, did I just have it here? Where did I put it? Is it right in front of me? Okay, laugh with me. Did I put it back in the bag? Oh my gosh, girls. It's in a little... You girls, is it... Okay, so this happens. Take a deep breath and like just open your eyes. There it is. So, does that happen to you at home? You have it in front of you. Hi, Naughty Nancy. Thanks for sharing. I love it. I appreciate when you girls share the video. So I just had a moment where when you have it right in front of you and you just had it, and then all of a sudden you can't find it. I know that happens to you. I'm not alone with that. So the difference here with the braided linen trim, this is a little bit thicker than what the linen thread is. So watch what I'm gonna do to make up for that. I'm going to start my end with it hitting the tear and tape, and I'm gonna go, oh, and I didn't hit the tear and tape in the right spot, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more here. I guess I wasn't quite over far enough. So the trick with the tear and tape, make sure to press it down really good, and then it'll be able to pop up. So now that I've got this, I'm gonna go like this, and so instead of wrapping it around and wasting all the twine that's here, what I'm gonna do is bring this back right next to it and just get my little guy here so it's right next to it like that, and then I'm going to bring it back here and I'm going to connect it to the tear tape, and then I'm actually going to do one more. I'm going to make 3 of these. So that's gonna be about the same thickness as the braided linen trim would have been. So, and you see what I did? I only went as far as the tear and tape and I turned around and instead of going all the way around. So I just saved myself a bunch of twine there. And I'm gonna make myself a little twine sandwich with the tear and tape. And so I'm gonna put some over the top so that it does not come apart. And then once that is done, we're gonna adhere it with a little bit of liquid glue to our card base. Put that out of the way. Dot, dot, not a lot. Just remember with liquid glue, you don't want to go too close to the edge. I always go about a good 1/4 of an inch away. Make sure that you put your card base the right way, not that you do it upside down and create a trick card. That happens. And then you still send them out because people will get a good laugh at it. All right, we have that done. I have already stamped a lighthouse here out of soft suede. So the ink color I used is soft suede. And then I also used crumb cake. And crumb cake is going to be for the compass back here. And I already stamped it. I gotta figure out where I put it. In the stamp set you have congrats and you have thanks. And so I've also stamped the thanks. And then I die cut that out. So I stamped that in soft suede. I also, let's see underneath here, I have my hexagon dies. So, oh, here it is. So girls, we use the hexagon dies in the last 45 Facebook Lives. I would have to say I talked about these absolutely every single time. And they are carrying over, so that's awesome. So if you haven't gotten them yet, there's still time to get them. So what I've done is I've die cut the biggest, largest one out of Mossy Meadow. And that just, when you emboss or die cut it, you just push down on the die and it will pop right out. So that's what I'm doing here. I wanted to save that to do that with you. I put all of my dies on magnetic sheets so that they stick nicely and they're not all loose. I hate the tape that's on those cardboard things, so I take them off right away. So I had already die cut out the lighthouse. And so this is this tape that I get off of Amazon. Honestly, there's not many things that I don't buy that aren't Stampin' Up! For my stamping needs, but this is a low tack artist tape and it's like the consistency of a Post-it note. And when you stick that on here, it sticks and helps hold down on your paper, but it doesn't rip and tear your paper as you pull it off. It's $5. It's for the whole roll, so it's definitely worth it. All right. You're gonna really laugh at me because you can tell that I wasn't fully prepared for this, but this is gonna be cut out with a circle punch. And the circle punch that fits it perfectly is 1.5. And I am not going to attempt to fussy cut this in front of you. That would not be fun. I am not good at cutting circles. So when I'm done, I'm going to punch this out and I'm going to tuck it. So I'm going to set this up so that I'm not going to be able, I'll be able to add it later. So work with me. All right, so then we can glue this down. And you can also see that I cut out, oh, I love this little steering wheel. There's so much, there's little lines in it and it looks so cool. And there's this little hole that you can poke out. So that's already die cut. So we're just gonna put this on to the Mossy Meadow stitched nested die. I call them hexagons a lot. I'm not sure, it's not really it's 6-sided. So I think it is a hexagon. I didn't know if hexagons are equal side, if the sides are all equal, somebody will tell me. All right, flip that over and let's get our dimensionals and put on, I'm gonna probably put on 6 or 8. Let's see here how it looks. I've started to use more dimensionals so that it doesn't sag in the middle. Normally I would have just put 2, 4, 6, but I'm starting to put more in the middle here so that they don't sag and like kind of divot down. So that is popped up. And we're just going to put that, I'm centering it top to bottom and left to right. And that goes right here. So I have the lighthouse. He is popped up with dimensionals. So I'm gonna put a few on, I'm probably gonna put 4, just straight down the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm allowing myself room to be able to tuck that compass right behind here when we're all said and done. So, Oh yeah, the magic of TV won't run upstairs and go grab our 1 1/4 inch circle punch. If I had Kelly here, she'd run up and get it for me quick. So what I'm trying to do is line up my edge here with the bottom. I did it a little bit lower than on this one. I just like the way that looked. And then what we're gonna do is put this on with dimensionals as well. And I think just 2 will do the trick here. And that will go at the top of our hexagon, something like that. I like to see the little dots up there yet, so I didn't want to cover them up. And then our compass is gonna go, it's gonna go right here. And what's in the inside of the compass? We used these last night, girls. These are the frosted and clear epoxy, they're droplets. So there's frosted ones and there's clear. And so that's what people got in their goodie bags last night for game night. So that'll go there. And actually what I'm going to do is just hold off, pretend that we just put the compass there and now this is glued on. So all I would do is tuck that compass in there flat. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is put a baby or a mini dimensional right in the middle of this. And that's gonna go right there. Okay, so you're with me, girls? We pretty much have the outside done. Now what we're gonna do, and so here's my compass. You see, I stamped it, and in 5 times running upstairs, I forget something every time. So I definitely forgot to get the punch. So we work with it though. All right, so on our inside, we've got it, it's matching. So what we're gonna do is grab our soft suede ink. And this is the new case. So remember, those open up like a compact. They kind of flip or like pop up and then it swings back and then it slides shut. And if they are kind of tight, like you saw me struggle with that a little bit, you just got to work at it. It was a little tight in the beginning, but then now it slides pretty good. So you just got to keep using those pads until they get broken in. So when I stamp my lighthouse, I want to have it so that it's not up floating out of the ground. So what I'm going to do is stamp it a little bit lower. It is an irregular hexagon because the sides are not the same length. Yay! So I knew somebody would help me out here. Hi, Mary. And there you go. So oh! Okay, I just understood what Mary said. Mary says just stamp it on the paper. We're gonna do that. Okay, cool beans. I like your idea. It saves it from, you're so smart, Mary. Okay, we're gonna put our birds up here. So I've got basic gray, and they are gonna be flying through the sky with the greatest of ease like that. Okay, so this is what Mary just said. We're gonna stamp the compass onto our mat and just go with it. So we're gonna go for it. We might have a little bit of dealings with dimensionals, but I'm gonna figure it out and make it happen, girls. And we're gonna complete the card from start to finish. So I feel like this needs to go in here. Get that out of the way for right now. And that will go in our inside. Hi, Bonnie Brown. All right, so what we're talking about is we're gonna stamp. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to take our, you can tell I use these for glue. Whew, they cut a lot of tear tape and they are not sticky anymore. I mean, they're very sticky. So let's get this guy lifted up just so slightly. We're gonna squeeze him out of the way. So this is what Mary just suggested to do. And because I saw it and I understood what she meant when she wrote on it, or she wrote it, she's saying just to stamp this right onto the paper. So you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna just go, I'm gonna have, so there's bigger needles right in the middle here that are going up and down, and I think I like them off center a little. So we're just gonna shut our eyes and stamp, girls, and hope for the best. And there it is. Look at that. Boom. I love it. Thank you for that recommendation. Now though, we're gonna do is just put a few more dimensionals right back there. We're just gonna put 2 of them this time. We still have those other dimensionals there, just not sticking. So all we're gonna do is put that right back down to where we want it. Hi, Sue. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And now I appreciate also Mary's suggestion, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna Stella this. So what I like to do is lay it flat and, oh my goodness. So I just rejuvenated Stella. I added a whole bunch of, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. I added a whole bunch of rubbing alcohol to this Stella pen. And I don't know if you were watching last night, but it got, oh, look at it. You can kind of see it. It's bedazzly. Oh my gosh. So, all right. So now that is going to go right about there. So I lined up the circle edge here with the edge of the lighthouse. So, all right, there we go. That wasn't so bad, was it? Like the layout? So if you're looking for some inspiration and ideas for design layouts, this one's a very simple one. I mean, it may not look that way. It all depends what you put on the top here. But you've got just your regular card base, 2 mats that are actually the same size, one embossed. Put a little bit of DSP here. Grab those stitch dies, coordinating colors, and then just decorate something on the side. You could even skip the banner here and just like what Mary suggested, you could stamp it right on your irregular stitched hexagon, and it would be perfectly fine as well. So yay, hi Karen, hi Arliss, thanks for joining, girls. So this is our completed card, and now we're done with the, yay, little Lily the card. Oh, you like the card. Yay, Arliss likes the card too. So now we have it done and complete, so that's awesome. So that completes our 3 cards that I did for my Sailing Home Bundle class last July. So, yay, I got some kits done, girls. Okay, so I want to show you a couple more cards though that I worked on last night, and I showed you this one already, but I'm organizing it's called a sweet swap. I handpicked 10 girls that are like sidelines and colleagues of mine in the Stampin' Up! World that have been in previous swaps with me, and they're wonderful card makers. And so we each picked a suite out of the new Stampin' Up! Catalog, and I took the last one that was chosen because I was like, okay, I'll make sure everybody else gets what they want. And so I got Ornate Garden. So this is not a card that we're doing in class. It is a card that I made for the Sweet Swappers. So the goal with the Sweet Swappers is you make 4 different cards with all the product from the suite, and you can bring in other things like the stitch dies. I brought in from Forever Greenery the dies. I brought in the daisies, but I used the die here. I used the Gilded Gems. I used the Designer Series paper, and I used the ribbon. So I pulled in 4 things from the suite, but then I also pulled in an embossing folder here and other things. So this was one of the cards that I designed, and the stamp sets actually from it. So now the goal is I make 12 of these cards, and then I swap them with those people. So here's another one that I made. Oh my God, this one took a lot of lady brain power. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. I even forgot to pop out a couple of these. It never fails, right? I had an idea on Pinterest that I found where this card was like this, and this bit was at the top, and it just did not go that way. This die is a little bit difficult to work with and getting it in your machine and it cutting just right. But this is what I ended up with. How do you like it? It says, thank you. You made my day. And I have a white daisy on the inside. And this uses everything basically from that suite except for this stitched die and then the greenery. Isn't that awesome? That's the same greenery. If you girls, you need to get Forever Greenery just for the greenery pieces that are in it. So this is actually the same die. It's the big leaf, and I cut it apart into little bits and pieces. So this one features terracotta tile with the DSP. So this was a swap card. It's not going to be a class card either. I designed it just for the swap. And then here's another one that I have a very similar one for the class. But it doesn't feature this ornate die. So, oh my gosh, girls, this one is all gold and mint with a little bit of pop of color with the coral. And I embossed with a heat tool the thanks ever so much. And on the inside, I left it very simple. I just have a little flower in the bottom corner. And then I like to write these full for my thank you notes. So I've used a bunch of the dies here. This die on the side is part of it. And I fussy cut these little buggers out. I fussy cut 12 times 3, and there's 36 of those. So, and then a couple little pearls right in the middle. So 3 of those cards, girls. And I want to tell you what I'm working on tonight. After we get off of here, Tyler's gone for a couple more hours, so I have 2 more hours to go upstairs and play. But this is a card I got in a swap, and I don't remember who it's from. But I have a Fun Folds class coming up next week, and I have to design one more card. And so this is the card that I've been wanting to case for a while, and it's called a diorama card. And so when you open it up, it moves. So I don't know if you see this, but when you open it up, it goes like that. And in the inside, you got little birds. You have little birds that are just hanging out. And so there is a new stamp set in the annual catalog that's called Birds and Branches. And I have this. I got it. It was part of our pre-order. And so my goal is to use this to make a card that is cased from this. And so this is what I have so far, girls. It's not done, but work with me. This is the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper that was part of our pre-order, and it's mixed with Pretty Peacock, and then this is Just Jade. Just Jade is one of the new ink colors, and so this is what I have so far. I'm going to put this like this on the outside, and my plan is to use one of this guy right here, I think, the nest with the 3 little eggs with a bird that's kind of like perched over it. And I'm going to throw on some ribbon somehow, somewhere, and some gems, of course. But the inside's kind of done. Not quite, but I'm close. So when you open mine up, I've got, this is a die that is from the bundle that comes with the stamp set, if you get the whole thing. And then this branch is stamped in the back with the shaded spruce leaves. And so I'm going to finish this off by there's a die cut branch in here as well. And I'm going to die cut the branch and have one little bird nestled here with some sort of a sentiment. So that's where I'm at, girls. So this is my #1 goal for when we get off of here, that I'm going to go upstairs to my craft room and I'm going to get this hot dog done. I got to get this one done because class is already on Wednesday night, girls. And I'm a slacker to the nth degree. Like, procrastinator is in my name. And so I really put that off. So my goal is to get that done so I can publish and advertise that class. I do have 8 people signed up for Wednesday night already, which is exciting. So I have a full class on Wednesday, and I have an almost full class for it next Saturday. I have 6 people signed up, so I have room for 2. And then I have the class again on Monday night. And nobody signed up. So I have a little bit of work to do to get that one full. And then I will be doing this class live in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from yesterday, I'll be doing the Fun Folds as an online class for you girls to watch and make the cards with me. If you want, you can get them as kits or as completed cards. Or you can just follow along and have fun. So, all right. I think that's it. Kelly, I know you're not watching anymore. She always pops on for the first bits, but I will have a few more drawings for next week. I gave away a lot of prizes last night, but tonight what I plan to do is the card that we made tonight. I will be putting that in the mail for somebody. And I have from 2 nights ago a card as well that I'll be popping in the mail. And what I'll plan to do is you girls won't see me live until next Thursday. Ooh, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to have regular class, actually. And on top of it, I have to take tomorrow and I have to move my whole setup that I have here. I got to move it out of here and put it to a different room because this is where I normally have classes. So I got a little work ahead of me. So I will be announcing a couple winners then come next week, Thursday. So I hope that you join me at 6 next Thursday. I'll be your regular TV show, I guess, on Thursdays maybe. So, all right, girls. I hope that you have a great, healthy, happy, safe Memorial Day weekend. Make sure you enjoy it. Enjoy the weather if it cooperates. Hopefully we don't get as much rain as they're talking about, but my mom and dad are talking they need rain for the fields. So they need some rain on those seeds. So, all right, girls and boys, I hope that everything is wonderful for you for the next week until we meet again. Sunshine and happiness to you. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye.